Okay, so basically I got paid. So I wanted to capture my excitement for something that just happened, basically, well, that happened in the last couple of days. And yeah, I don't want to share a screenshot of DMs or anything like that, but I do have some permission to talk about this. So yeah. Okay, so basically, Visa, the great Visa Camp, his Twitter. Basically, if you watch any of these videos, you probably know already who he is. But yeah, this guy. He paid me to do some exploratory work on his personal archive of stuff, which is kind of interesting so far. Just trying it out to see what his thoughts are and on all that stuff. Not a long-term contract or anything like that, but yeah, it's still nice. And how the hell did this happen? What? And the funny clickbait answer would be something like, I wrote that I'm unemployed in my bio, and I got paid. And even though hilariously it is a part of that is part of it. The truth is that I have been like over a year or so. I've been basically going, because I like his stuff. I'm going through his stuff and stuff like that, making these videos relating to the stuff, or writing comments under his own videos, or replying to the tweets, or basically all the stuff. And for example, when he links something, just being willing to dive deep into that, into his archives, for example, and stuff like that. Yeah, being curious basically about himself and his writing and all that he does. So yeah. And I wanted to make this video basically as a proof, well, not as a proof, but as something like, as a picture of what I'm feeling this right now because of this, and how it's a bit of a vibe shift and stuff like that. So yeah, basically the impact that it's made on me right now is that it kind of makes me bright-eyed for the future, right? It makes me hopeful. I already knew that making money online and all this kind of stuff is stuff that people do, but I don't know. The fact when it happens to you it's different. It is different, and I still know that that this is not a super regular thing, or that even if it's regular, it's a finite thing, and not exactly like a contract of employment or anything like that. But it is a sign of something. It reveals that maybe there is something after all, a way to work on what I think is really important and what I've already been doing, and get paid. So there is kind of this fire that is nice and warm, right? And also like with minimizing compromise, right? Because a lot of what I think about when I think of a job is kind of compromising this with that, making compromises. And this is way more on my own terms, kind of like it literally started by me changing my bio saying, if you want to hire me for something, please DM. So I don't know. It's funny. When I say that I don't ever want to have a job and that I am unemployed and all that, it's kind of lighthearted and humorous. And I obviously know that there is a limit to all of that. When my savings run out, I'm out, right? When I get with my crypto tanks, I'm dead. But when I make these tweets, it's in jest. I don't know what else. It worked. And I refuse to do manual labor and will probably end up dying of hunger. This is obviously a joke, and I won't die of hunger, literally, right? And I will cave in and I will compromise. But the point with this was that this was kind of a no compromise type deal, right? I don't mean no compromise in that there is always, I guess, compromises whenever you're working with someone and stuff like that. But I mean in a compromising what I want to do or something like that, right? Compromising what I think is important, right? Prioritizing the right things. This kind of compromise, because sometimes when you get a job, it's like, okay, I do this to make money, but I don't really consider that important, right? When people who think in career-oriented ways do think like that, and maybe they do consider their career important and can consider career advancement important, but I'm not really in that vibe, I guess, right? I think in another type of way, and I think this type of deal reinforces that kind of wave, and that's nice. Yeah, and this is for me, this is kind of a really important as fuck moment, right? Or some kind of reset, or some breaking some kind of being joking around, being being unemployed type moment, right? Because for example, when I see my friends on weekends, or when people ask me what have you been doing, blah blah, I always say nothing, right? I default to saying what, nothing, fucking around on Twitter, watching YouTube, I guess. Or maybe if I've made a video like this one, I say, well, I made a little video, a funny video, or whatever, right? But yeah, it feels bad saying it. It feels like I'm not doing anything of importance, even when it is something that I find really important. I don't know where I left it off, but yeah, I think I was saying that, it's a sign that it's an important sign, because it's something that, for example, when I saw my friends, I saw that I was doing nothing, but I was doing actually something that led to this moment. So yeah, that was, I think, where I left it off, and I wanted to end with some thoughts that I don't want to categorize, and that I'm going to kind of ramble about. So first I want to can't thank Visa enough for this weird experiment. It's so interesting that someone would do that, and even if it's just these 2 days, and it's not more, it doesn't go further into the future or something like that, because it's not a fit, it's been invaluable. And then so far I've talked about this in a kind of, I made money, lol, let's fucking go. but the reality is that right now I couldn't care less about the amounts exchanged. It's like well, if you're curious, it's like $100 per day, so $200. So it's like I'm not tight, I'm not $200 tight in money. I'm low on liquid cash, and $200 do make a difference in my checking account balance. A scary difference, to be honest. But I wasn't worried about it before the $200. So I have alternatives. I have other types of less liquid alternatives, but that I don't mind spending. Crypto, basically. So I don't really care about it. But I care about the fact that there are people willing to take a chance on someone from the comments online, right? That's like fucking insane, right? And that are open to doing these kind of experiments, and that were open enough in the first place for the experiment to be able to be a thing, right? Because if you aren't prolific and you don't have an archive for someone to dive into, or if you are prolific but you don't put it out to the public, no one can see it in the first place. For you to get for someone to actively go through it and give you a taste of a personal archivist that you want to again get back to, right? It's like or basically that thing. And also that it's a position that I look up to. It's like when I think of myself in the future, it's like, fuck, I want to be the guy that does this kind of strange shit, right? That thinks of money and resources and all that stuff in a way where doing that kind of stuff makes sense, right? Where you're just like, I might just try it. I might shout, I might hit him up on DMs about this, right? It's like getting to that position is something that I think, damn, that would be so fucking, that it's like the fact that that's possible, it's so fucking insane, right? And that said, I do still care about money. In the regular sense, basically, and I do want to get my money up and get, I want to get like proper paper. Because I want to make some things happen that are money based in some regular ways, right? Where this relationship, where this long term thinking online stuff is not that much of the vibe, and the vibe is more like I pay you 5,000 euros and I get a car, right? That's more the vibe. and I want to do those kind of things as well, but but this still sets kind of some kind of train of thought in my brain that widens my perspective. For example, yeah, maybe $5,000 and I get a car is the vibe in the general world, but there are probably pockets where that's not true, right? Where it's like, fuck it, yeah, hang in my garage, and you can hang in someone's garage without exchanging the monetary value for their square meter space of the garage or whatever, or without paying light because someone just invites you to hang out in their garage and fucking around in cars and stuff like that, right? That's where the magic happens. And maybe money is less the vibe, right? And this kind of actually getting money is what kind of propels those thoughts more, right? It's like, yeah, but how do you get the money? How, right? The how is the magic, and that's what this moment set off. Right? And yeah, I wanted to actually finish this thing off with a couple of thoughts, and one is that I sent in what came from me and I wanted to send, right? I'm not sure. I wasn't thinking if it was worth it. Well, I had a thread in my mind that was, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? But it wasn't like the main driver of the thing, right? I was just doing my thing, and if it's worth it, it's worth it. And if it's not, it's not. The point was to see what happens, right? And that's what I liked about it. And also, yeah, if I reformatted something, if I wrote something, or if I deleted something and then wrote another thing, or if I rearranged stuff, or if I decided to put an overarching thoughts fragment, it's because I felt that, it's not because I felt that it would be more valuable in the sense that he will get his money's worth. No, it's because it's something that I care about, right? I care about this frame that I'm putting in to make sense of the thing below, right? In this kind of sense. And the last thing is that I wanted to, that there's more stuff coming, right? There's more stuff coming regarding this. This is just the beginning, right? These are my thoughts, my meta thoughts on the things that I've read. Well, not on the things that I read, on the fact that I've read things and then wrote a little bit something for archival purposes and got paid for it. This is the meta thing. But I do have thoughts on the thing, right? And those are scripts that are a couple of scripts, and I will have to revisit, and something will come out of it for sure, right? So yeah, there is more coming, and it's interesting. Even if the thing cuts off, there's at least 3 videos or something left for me to do on this, and then probably I will still keep going around, rabbit holing on the scripts, because it was interesting work, right? So yeah, I'm going to now finish off listening to a bit of a song.